to boost your energy naturally, the best energy boosting foods. I'm Dr. Jane. I'm joined by Devi Jade. Hey, Jade.
Hey, thank you very much. And we're here today to speak about something that we all know and love. It's a
Food.
four-letter word. It starts with an F. No, not that kind of food. No, it is food actually.
I love food. Before we get into the ones that boost your energy, what's just kind of your favorite guilty pleasure food?
Actually, I have a few, I guess. So I could tell kind of a funny story, but for me, it's very difficult for me to pass up a piece of angel food cake with strawberries.
Ooh, that's so nice and light.
Yeah, that's why I like it. I don't like the whipped cream part, just the other. And then the other one is cheesecake. I really love cheesecake. So probably those two. And frankly, a third one would probably be a gooey brownie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, my husband makes really great brownies,
Oh,
peanut
see,
butter brownies.
I know I eat really well. You eat really well, but I would have to eat.
Oh, no. Now and again, there's like full indulgence. Yeah, I love ice cream. I love a really good cheeseburger. Like, I love food. I love super healthy food as well. Like a really great salad with,
So how can you eat? Because I love hamburgers are like my total like comfort food if I'm having like the worst meltdown ever. And I'm talking about sad things like when my dog died, I had to go have a big hamburger.
or like, yeah, I mean, that might be like a 2 cheeseburger day for me. And I'm with all the junk on it.
Yeah. So how do you tell me? We talked about this like we always talk, and I thought, ooh, at this point, I'm eating so clean, and I like to eat this. So, what are your top 20 of
20.
Oh, I guess we're doing 10. I don't know.
I don't know how many we're doing.
Okay, so 20 foods that you have experienced and that work for you as a miracle.
Just from a health perspective. So my mom was a registered nurse and a nutritionist, and I grew up in a household with like no candy and no this, and just very, very clean. And that was just how I grew up. So I just kind of had the not fun health side of food drilled into me. It was supposed to be, if we were allowed ice cream, wheat germ on top, which I think it's delicious. But when I was 6, it wasn't. I would rather have the whipped cream that you're tossing off of your angel food cake. You know what I mean? But yeah, so how about this? You said 20, that's a whole lot for a video. So I'm going to put together a download for folks, a free guide to the top 20 from a health and nutrition standpoint, the top 20 foods that can help boost your energy. I think 2 of them that just come to mind right now that are my favorite, not guilty pleasures. I'm not going to say go buy a triple chocolate cheesecake, which I did have the other night. So good.
Oh my,
it's like
okay.
Chocolate crust, and it was just, I shared it with my
having enough sex, you guys, because when you crave chocolate when you're not having sex.
And I know dark chocolate's supposed to be really good for you, and I do eat it every once in a while, but there's nothing like a good bad for you milk chocolate. But on to the healthy side of things, I think my 2 favorite foods that scientifically, just medically help boost your energy, really fatty fish. I love me some fresh fish, and avocado. I can eat avocado anytime. What?
Kind of fishy.
Oh, well, just like any fat. I love salmon. I love tilapia. I love shellfish. That's not really included in fatty fish, but
not the farm-grown 3-eyeball kind, you guys. We're talking about fresh.
Oh, fresh fish. Buy quality fish. Tuna. Oh, I love a good sushi grade tuna steak. Yeah, just all of the above. Scallops. I'll pretty much do just about anything you want me to do if you're going to cook good scallops for me. It's real easy to screw those up though.
It is.
Yeah. So those are really my top 2, I would say, if I was just going to boil it down. But I mean, bananas are really, really good for you. Sweet potatoes. in moderation, coffee is very good for you.
I love coffee. I'm sorry, but since the dawn of time, I feel like if that coffee, those little bushes out there and all the coffee beans, I'm sorry, they're saying, have some of me. And I'm like, I will, thank you.
And honestly, something that helps give you energy, and people don't naturally think that, but it is what you see me drinking all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Water.
It's the first thing that little kids ask for. Yeah.
Water. So yeah, if you're not hydrated,
agua, yeah, they'll say it. Mm-hmm.
Your brain won't work properly. Your body just can't work properly if you're not hydrated. And for people who say, "Oh, I don't like water," tough noogies, like squeeze a lemon in it or crush up some cherries or strawberries and make an infused water or something, but drink it, because you're made up of it. So if you're saying you don't like water, you just need to get over it.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And if your water isn't good, get a filtration system. You can check the video link for the one that I have if you want to check that out. I've done a whole review on it, and you can look at the YouTube video here on this channel if you want to check that out. But Jade has one too, and cleanses, purifies, and alkalizes the water, so it makes it healthier for you. So
okay, so what other foods? Let's go to veggies, and what do you feel like is a really good veggie?
Sweet potato.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you like sweet potatoes?
No, I totally love them. I am on a very, very strict regimen right now, and so I do include them occasionally, but yeah. Okay,
yeah.
so what else? Green veggie? That's it?
What?
What about green veggie?
Oh, I mean, apples, bananas. I already said bananas. I think I started with avocado. Those are all fruits, though.
I was gonna say, this woman's a brainhead. I said, what veggies? Bananas and apples.
I'm just thinking of like natural things that grow from the ground. I love root vegetables. I like, I also love zucchinis, tomatoes. Tomatoes actually a fruit, though.
Yeah.
A little bit of
trivia.
trivia.
Fruits, you guys.
You what?
You love fruits. Apparently, you're like loving fruits.
Dude, I love fruits. I also love peppers, like bell peppers.
Yeah, they're great.
I'm a big pickle fan. I love pickles, which are cucumbers pickled. Eggs are good, not growing out of the ground, grow out of chickens.
Really good for energy. Yeah.
But they're very, very good. Anything protein, like lean though, lean, clean, come from the earth. So if it comes out of a bag or a box,
or a can.
Or a can.
Unless you're a person that is really old school and you know how to can properly, because I actually learned that, then you got something. Okay.
I'm talking about like the Del Monte off the shelf in the grocery store is a no-go. So what about you? Like all my go-tos.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you some more. What about, let's see. So if you were going to have me to dinner, because you know that I'm pretty strict, very health conscious, what would you put in front of me?
Let's see. I can make you a 5-course meal. How many courses do you want?
That's good.
Okay, so I would probably start with I love to make rainbows at dinner. And that's a really good standard for somebody to have, eat the rainbow. And I'm not talking about food coloring. I'm talking about like foods that are naturally colored in these different colors. But I love fresh hummus. So hummus with vegetables for dipping. If your current diet would allow that. I'm a huge fan of edamame. It's a wonderful little finger food. Little kids can eat it, and you can even get in food fights with it and shoot the peas at each other.
That's awesome. I remember that.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. It was actually one of my daughter's first table foods. She would just grab the pods and gnaw on them with her gums. And so I knew that there were, vitamins in there that she really wanted. They're really good, just steamed with a little bit of sea salt on them. I'd probably start with that. And if you're doing a meat or fish right now, I would do a really eclectic chop mixed green salad with a bunch of different raw vegetables in it and a nice grilled fish on top, maybe a snapper or a salmon or something like that, with just a really, really light oil and vinegar type of a base sauce. And, you know, I would probably put a cheesecake over to the side just to taunt you, because that's probably not on your regimen at the moment.
You can get the kind that, you know, if you make it right, it's not got so much stuff going on. I do eat some dairy. I don't, you know, so it's okay. I would probably indulge in that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think my very favorite dessert is homemade watermelon popsicles.
Yeah, that's great. I can
I
even
just, when I slice up the watermelon, like I'll actually cut it in half, and then I'll use a melon baller to to
yeah.
ball it instead of slicing it. I know a lot of people like to slice it and just eat the slices, but if you ball it, you have this bowl of fresh watermelon juice.
She likes balls.
I'm a ball fan. But I pour the watermelon juice in popsicle molds, and I have popsicle sticks, and so we always have. And they're actually really beautiful too, because little tiny pieces of the watermelon fall down into the juice and they freeze like that. And then any seeds that are in there just are at the bottom. So you don't have to eat them, but it just looks like a piece of watermelon, but it's frozen watermelon juice. So I'd probably end with some watermelon popsicles on the patio. Maybe we could go jump on the trampoline.
That's exactly what I love that. That's good. So yeah, no, that's perfect. So, what about, let's talk about desserts a little bit, because or munchies, because people, that's where people get caught up. It's like, well, I could do the diet, but what about in between? I don't know what I can eat. I'm so hungry. I'm just starving to death. I don't know if I can do it. So what do we do to, you know, oh, water. What if they want to do
Before you
that?
start down the munchie trail, I want you to drink at least 8 ounces of water. And everybody always says, how much water do I need in a day? Well, it's 12 glasses at 8, it's however many glasses. No. Jade, you and I have different body shapes. We've talked about that before. You said you have a little bitty waist. My waist is like forever long. I'm tall. You know, I weigh a different amount than you weigh. We don't need the same amounts of water. So I weigh around 140 pounds. I don't need the same amount of water that a 300-pound man needs. And so take your body weight. This is your water formula. Take your body weight, whatever it is. I've already told you mine. So 140, and divide it by 2. And that is how many ounces of water you should consume a day for your health. It doesn't have to be all at one time, but just sip throughout the day. And for your health, consume that. So your body weight in pounds divided by 2, and that is your amount of ounces that you should receive of fresh, good water a day.
And Dr. Jane she's the one doing the video, so she's going to put that, it's a woo-woo alert. She's going to give you, and we'll say this all the time, the recipe for, so, and that way it's woo-woo, because anything that's a recipe is, it is woo-woo. So we'll say the recipe is for water, and then she'll list it for you.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I'll type that down.
I've heard that. Then you don't have to go to the Google God, because you can go here. You can,
yes, absolutely.
I'm get it right now. Okay, so good. All right, so let's just say you're out and about and you forgot to take your water with you. What would you suggest to be carrying with you, like you're on a hike? Well, yeah.
Yeah, I love dried fruits. We've already established that I like fruits, but I also love nuts, and nuts are fantastic for energy. I think my favorite indulgent nut is the macadamia. Those are very high in fat and calories, so I don't eat them all, but they're so yummy. But I love pistachios.
Yeah, that's
love them. And if you buy them, they're not the cheapest nut out there, but if you buy them in bulk, then, and we eat nuts all the time. So I'll just get some dried papaya, mango, dried pineapple, some pistachios, maybe some cashews, throw them in little snack bags. And I have a bucket in our pantry with just tons of bags with that in it, because I'll just make it, you know, once a month, and they're just our go bags. And so you always have something good with you. But the key to getting caught snacking is don't get caught snacking. Like, plan it. You know you're gonna meet that point where you're hungry. So have a couple of go-to snack bags in your glove box of your vehicle, in your purse, you know, in your drawer at your office, whatever. Just, you know you're going to eat. So plan for that moment where you look around and you don't have any other option than the Doritos. And then you do have another option if you've planned.
I
Have
totally
fun and throw some M&Ms in there if you want.
you can throw a few of those. That's good. That's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what about, let's say that you have kids with you. I know you said those go-to bags, which is good. Throw a couple more things in there. What if you have, because people might say, oh, but my child has peanut allergies. They have nut allergies.
I never put peanuts in my bags because so many kids have peanut allergies. So if either of the girls have friends with them, I'm like, there's pistachios. Like, I don't know anybody who's allergic to pistachios.
Right. That's true. I've never heard of that either.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one. I love that. So instead of the PB&Js, you guys, for snacks or PP or peanut butter on toast or whatever you're thinking in the middle along with the chips, I totally agree with her. And I actually do something very, very similar. I've been doing it for a long time, especially when I'm traveling, because you can't in the airports, of which we're not going to right now.
Right.
You cannot find the proper things. And here's the thing about protein bars. I'm all for protein bars sometimes. They're supposed to be an intermittent, pick me up, but you've got to get the right ones. And you really have to look at the labels. You really have to look detailing, not just the calories and the proteins, but really what's in the ingredients. Okay. And make sure that you're getting something that's, really a good quality bar, but please do not live on them thinking you're going to have a good diet. Because I've had people do that, and then I wake up with these palpitations, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Well, I'm losing weight, and I'm doing these bars. I said, "Are you eating food?" Well, no. I said, "Hello."
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
There's a really easy standard that you can remind yourself. Your food needs to come from the farm, not the factory. And that's just it. Food from the farm, not food from the factory. But, yes, do we have energy bars here, like the Kind bars or the Cliff bars or things like that? Yeah, and every once in a while, is it, Mama, I'm super hungry, and Mama's in the middle of 8 million things and I toss one? Absolutely. Or I'll say, go grab a banana or an apple or an orange. I love those tiny little oranges.
Oh, like the tangerines?
Yeah, like the cuties.
Yeah.
Because little fingers can cut right through that tender skin, and they can open and peel their own oranges, and that makes them eat more slowly.
Yeah, it does.
Which means that they're going to consume less, because usually we're consuming too much because we're just shoving it in there, and we're not giving our brain and our stomach time to be like, we're good. So for you, like we've just talked health now, but there are some woo foods. So what are your favorite woo foods to amplify your energy on a spiritual level?
Okay, so woo food, and when we talked about this, I said I'll come on the back there and talk about it. So here's how you amp up any food that you eat that's of the earth, obviously, is good for you. What I say is, we're so lucky to have foods from every place now in the U.S. And yet, remember, everyone, and I know you know this, but just for the farm thing, is that plants grow according to what their environments are. And this whole forcing of plants, that's where we can get caught up. If you can grow a little tiny garden for yourself, then you've got a woo-woo garden. The thing is, when you were working with plants, then I talk to all my plants, and they produce a lot more because I'm giving them love. I'm giving what they need. In fact, people would go by and say, how do you grow it so big? I said, there's this thing, it's called water. That's what they need. I don't throw all extra stuff into my plants because they know how to do it themselves. What I was going to get to in regard to what you were saying is that I really, for the most part, all things in moderation. Do I have a chip now and then? I do. But if your body says, here's the woo-woo thing. If your body says, no, I know you like, in your mind, like Chinese food, and I'm telling you in your gut, that's not working, then unfortunately pay attention to your gut, because your gut is saying no more. Bodies change. They just do. As time goes on, it's very interesting because as you get more into your authentic self, clearing everything, your body, you're starting to listen to your body more, and it'll tell you what you can and can't eat.
Yeah.
Immediately you will know. And what you could eat, 5 years ago, it's like, I'm not even having that now. So
I know.
yeah, it does. It just teaches you. So because you're starting to learn to listen to what's inside instead of what's in here so much.
And Jade, have you ever like given up on a junk food that you used to go to, or didn't even used to consider junk foods, any food that you used to go to, and you don't eat it for a long time after cleansing, and then you experience it and you think,
yeah, you can't. In fact, I've had a few people say that, but the thing that I really have always loved is popcorn. And when we were still going to the show, and that's the worst popcorn ever. I don't ever put butter, but it really still is bad. I go and every time I say, don't eat that, Jade, because you're going to pay for it. And
that's not butter, by the way.
Yeah, it's not. It's oil. It's yuck.
No, so, it's all sorts of chemicals. It's so gross.
Well, I never did that piece anyway, but anything, I still will indulge once in a while in a little itty bitty Snickers.
Okay. Those are good. That was my dad's favorite candy bar.
So
I love popcorn at home though. We have an air popper and we pop organic popcorn.
It doesn't like me anymore. It just is like, don't. I have all that stuff. And even I would say for about a year, it's like, don't go there. Because it rips my stomach apart.
And one thing, like people will say, oh, well, my kids really, really, really want this. All right. Well, ours didn't like it when we started to go a more organic route. However, total victory a couple of days ago. I was at a swimming pool with my kids, and some people who were kind of close to us ordered a bag of pre-popped buttered popcorn. And that's not butter. And my 12-year-old looked over at me and said, I would understand if the kids would want that, but the grown women are eating that popcorn. How can they, don't they know what that's doing to them? So, even though they might revolt when you first start to move away, you don't have to take everything away from them, baby steps, but they'll begin to see the difference in their own bodies and their own energy levels. Mm-hmm. Just like Jade said, like she doesn't do popcorn anymore. Her body doesn't want her to have that. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting. The kids will pick up on it, and then that will be their whole life. They'll be so much healthier by the time they're your age.
What was really great is during the time of COVID, and you could see a lot of people baking and doing things. And then now restaurants are attempting to open up, and I've had numerous people say, I don't really want to go because I eat so much better at home, because they were starting to cook again and be healthy. And they know that if they go out, then they don't know what they're getting.
Right.
And so that's it. But the woo-woo thing I was going to tell you, the most woo-woo of all, is that every plant and every animal, every fish, anything has given their life to sustain us, because it's something here that's going into this human body so it can express itself in a higher way as well. That's all energy. And so that whole thing of being so grateful, thank you for giving me what your energy is so that we both can become better. And that's sustainability. That's the true grace of prayer, and of over the food. And if you're a person that does energy, you can just energetically, give that to the food because it's going in. So however you want to do it in that way, but grace, prayer at the table is a good thing.
Gratitude is the most important ingredient, you would say.
It is the most important. So that is the woo-woo thing. Awesome. So that's what I encourage you to do. And if you don't know how to do it, you just say, I'm so grateful for all of this that's given their lives, given themselves, giving everything so that I can be better. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. If you think it's beautiful to you, give this video a thumbs up. Let us know that you're enjoying the content, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you know the next time that we drop a video to help you live a healthier life, a happier life. Right, Jade?
That's right.
With more success.
Healthy, happy, and it gives us youth, which is what we want the most.
Yes, yes, yes. More success, lower stress. That's what we're here for. We'll see you next time.